chock-a-block at Newcastle today. Newcastle fans, do you want a bit of story time for anyone that doesn't follow you on social media? It was the comment section or the TikTok section that
Mate,
that's been going mad about
I
Isaac.
have never been. Comments don't bother me in the slightest. I think it's funny. Like, rip me all you want. I put up one TikTok yesterday saying that if you think that Newcastle are signing Ekitike to play as a rotation to Isak or play alongside them up top and they're going to change the whole system and lose the midfield three, like, you're wrong. I got absolutely, I cannot describe the amount of stick I got. My girlfriend's in the hospital at the minute and I went and I was talking to her about it. She pissed herself, mate. There was no, some of them were horrific. You can't.
People don't have a filter though, mate, do they? It's like they wouldn't say that to you or anyone that does social media. Like I remember I done a Jude Bellingham video ages ago and I had Real Madrid fans, Dortmund fans, and even Everton fans. Everton fans turn up from anywhere, don't they? Anyway, so but yeah, so don't worry about it, bud. It's only opinion.
Oh, mate,
like it's people just lose their absolute mind as well. Yeah. But you know what we're gonna do now, Lou? And chat, we're going to speak about Isak and Ekitike. Potentially, one of them, or maybe two of them, could come to Liverpool. So, this is Liverpool. Newcastle are reportedly bringing in Hugo Ekitike. This is obviously based on the agenda of last night as well, Lou. Do you think this move will personally happen for you in regards to Hugo Ekitike to Newcastle United?
It's so dependent on what happens with Isak. It's clear to me, personally, and I think it's clear to a lot of people, that Ekitike is not the number one target for us. It's clearly Alexander Isak. Whether or not he goes to Newcastle, Ekitike, I think is dependent on whether or not we get Isak. Because if we don't get Isak, from what I read in reports, Newcastle offered around 70 million, but they know there's another club that have said we will pay 85 for Ekitike, which I think says release clause or thereabouts. So, in my mind, given everything that's gone on today, I think that's us. That, like, you know, logic would dictate that it's us who have submitted that offer. If we don't get Isak, I think we get Ekitike based on this. If we do get Isak, Ekitike goes to Newcastle. It's a very sort of standoffish situation, and Ekitike is sort of stuck in the middle. So he will be going to one of the two clubs. It just depends first on whether or not we can get Isak. Is my political answer to this question, to be honest, because I don't know, mate. It can go one or two ways. It can either go in the bin. Yeah. Or the way that I think majority of us are hoping it goes, and that is Alexander Isak wearing the number 7 up, the number 9 up top. My apologies.
Yeah, so but it's the main one, and this is what sent my head and the majority of Liverpool fans laughing on social media. Is can you see Ekitike playing in a 2-man forward line under Eddie Howe, or is that just a load of PR spin for you?
Mate, there's no chance that Ekitike is being brought in to work alongside Isak. People were pitching like 3-5-3, not 3-5-3. That's not a formation. That's like Todd Bowley. That like 3-5-2 formations and spouting out all this. Well, you know, we could go at the 3 at the back. That won't work because you've got Livramento who's on his way up massively, and they signed Lewis Hall recently, who's been getting a lot more game time. If they go, oh, well, we're going to play 2 strikers up top, so you've just signed Elanga for £55 million, so is he not going to play? Is Gordon going to lose his position? Are you going to get rid of Harvey Barnes or Jacob Murphy? No. It will not work. The only rationale they have for it is because they don't want to lose Alexander Isak. And if you think Ekitike is going to be going to Newcastle, content to be in a rotation role around Alexander Isak, who's clearly not going to get dropped because he's the better of the 2 strikers, it will not work. Newcastle are trying to bring in someone as quick as they can before the offers for Isak come in, because they know he probably will move on. They know he probably wants to move. I get it that he could play up top. He did it with Wilson. But when you were doing that, you didn't have Anthony Gordon putting out the numbers that he was putting out. You didn't have Anthony Elanga just signed. You didn't have Jacob Murphy playing the way he is. You didn't have Harvey Barnes at the time. The whole system changed, and that midfield three of Guimaraes, Tonali, and Joel Linton is too important. We saw what they did to us in that Carabao Cup final, mate. They
ran us off the park, didn't they?
Exactly. They are not going to sacrifice that just to fit Ekitike alongside Isak. It's not that at all. He's clearly being brought in as their new number 9 for when Isak inevitably moves on. And that I might be wrong. I don't know anything. I probably play too much Football Manager. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me personally.
No, you are correct, and I agree. And I think the majority, 99.9% of Liverpool's fan base out there, agree with your mate as well. Just chat. If you've got social media, just type Isak Newcastle into your feed and just enjoy the night. That's a bit of entertainment anyway. I've had numerous messages, as I said already, on the transfer pod today. Off me Newcastle mates going, all right, you won't leave. But the next question I'll ask you, and this in regards to Newcastle United, in terms of obviously Ekitike in for Newcastle and possibly Isak out to possibly Liverpool as well. With this transfer in regards to Ekitike, Newcastle expect a big money sale of Isak. Do you think the PSR will play a massive part in regards to both of these deals and beyond for Newcastle? Because I think you might have slightly touched on it before, but they can't continue to keep on spending. Can they? For you?
I mean, I want to get up. Or I want to get Newcastle's transfers, like their all-time Premier League transfers just for the past few seasons. Because to be fair, I don't think they're particularly close in terms of breaching the rules. Because I'm sure for like a season or two, they really did go under the radar and didn't spend too much. So last season, this is in euros, so they spent 68.2 because they signed Lewis Hall, Osula, and Odysseas Vlachomidos. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that one. Yeah. The season before, they spent 148 million. The season before that, they spent 185 million, 130 before that. You know what? You've got to think that they probably are teetering on that border. And they've just signed Elanga for 55 million. There's no one else in that squad who really represents a high value. They're also linked to James Trafford at the moment, who I heard rumours he was around 40 million pounds. That's 90 million with no recoup, not to mention this Ekitike deal. They are going to have to sell, and the only players that you can really look at and think you're worth a high fee, Tonali, Gordon, Isak. Tonali's not going to go anywhere. Anthony Gordon, maybe, depending.
Livramento, possibly?
Livramento, yeah. Livramento's a good shout. Maybe Lewis Hall. But there's no sort of anyone who's worth value is too important to their team where they're not going to get rid of him. And the same could be said for Isak. But he represents such a high fee that you will recoup that you're paying off the past. You're paying off all your signings of this window so far. So if they sell him, that's 150 million quid. That covers last summer plus the players that you've just signed this year. I think they'd be daft not to look at potentially doing it. And like you say, they must be close to teetering on the edge because all scrutiny is going to be on them and all eyes are going to be on them after the takeover.
Yeah.
And I can see a world where after they sign Ekitike, they think, right, we got to balance the books here, lads. And Isak's the best way to do it. 120 to 150 million pounds.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer if you're that confident in Ekitike.
Could it be a possible similar situation with Liverpool with Coutinho a couple of years back?
Yeah, exactly.
You have to sacrifice one of your big players to overall improve that squad.
Yeah. Mate, it's got to be done. Like we did it with Suarez as well. We just spent the money very poorly when we signed like Markovic and Lambert and Chan and Balotelli, etc., etc.
We've come a long way.
Tottenham did it. Yeah, we have come a long way. Tottenham did it as well when they sold Bale. Like you've got to break a few eggs to make an omelette. And if Newcastle signing the transfers, like I say, over the past 2 seasons, you've had Lewis Hall, you've had Osula, you've had Anthony Elanga, you've had James Trafford potentially, Sandro Tonali, Harvey Barnes. If you're set losing Isak to sort of recoup the money you've made for them, you're losing a massive component of your team, undeniably, but financially, from that aspect, you know, there's little complaints that can be had.
Yeah, 100%. So, in terms of the final question as well, Lou, opposed to you, and opposed to chat as well, with all that included, as you mentioned with Ekitike, your Newcastle and everything, do you think there's a real chance this is obviously agenda was done last night, but it's very relevant tonight. That a real chance that Isak ends up at Liverpool this summer.
Yes, and I think I'm a very, I want to say passionate fan and probably deluded at points as well, but I think now that the initial conversation's been had, now that there has been the discussion of us approaching Newcastle, there could be a world where Isak says, right, I want to make the move. And I think if he does that, if he forces the issue, the price is going to stay at that 120 million mark, and we've made it very clear that we're willing to pay it. I think there is every possibility that we can do that because he's clearly our number one. We're going to lose Nunez potentially for around 50. Diaz has obviously got the buy-in links. I can see a world where he wholeheartedly comes to us. I think it just depends on what he wants to do. If he's happy at Newcastle, I think we get Ekitike. If he wants to make the move, if he wants to step up to the best club in England, please do. I think he comes to us. There's every possibility that we make this move for Isak and assert ourselves, prove to everyone why we're back on our perch and why we are the greatest club in English football history. And signing Isak, it just confirms it, man.
Weight behind him, lad. Not too bad, is it?
I mean, look,
or even on the left wing, that would be special. like Salah up front, Isak possibly, Gakpo, Waits. That's ridiculous.
It's the best. If we get Isak, this is the best summer window we have had in the Premier League era, bar none. Like, you can make the case for 99, you can make the case for 2018-19, 17-18, and a push. This will be the best, bar none at all.
Yeah, so there we go. Lou confirming on big decisions. Liverpool will be getting Isak. Happy days. So Reds,
yes.
Fingers crossed. And me and Lou will be covering the transfer show tomorrow, midday, 12 p.m. Make sure you do tune into that as well. Lou, you'll be live in 25 minutes, but it's a perfect time. You will be on the Red Room. And we'll just shout out obviously your channel as well, buds, and where everyone can find you as well, please.
Right. So while I'm dwelling in my little cave, it's Beyond the Cop. It's mostly, I do top 10s, I do live streams, I do everything. I'm close to 5,000 subscribers now. So if everyone who's watching this, please come over and subscribe. It helps out massively. I want to do this full time and you get to listen to me talk absolute wham for a living. Yeah, Beyond the Cop. It's on the screen at the bottom because I keep forgetting to change it. But yeah, it'd really, really, really be appreciated. So thank you, Jack, for letting me plug that. Really do appreciate it, man.
Oh, good, mate. No, it's we have plenty of people involved with Anfield Index, but as I said, Lou said at the top of the show, and we spoke about already this season, Lou will be doing plenty of shows this season coming up, so we're looking forward to that. But Reds, that's been the big decision. Jack McIndoe and Lewis Aspinall as well this evening. Dave's still on Aussie, but Dave, if you're watching, mate, hope you're not watching. Hope you're enjoying your holiday. Yeah, have a lovely holiday, mate. But Reds, look after yourself. And everyone, look after yourself. And fingers crossed, Alexander Isak will be coming to Liverpool. Hit that subscribe button down below to keep up to date on all things Liverpool. And that has been Big Decisions on Anfield Index. Ta-ra, Reds.